Welcome to the Wall Street Redneck Channel. Hey y'all, today we're going to talk about breakout strategy. What we're looking at is consolidation areas that break out either upward or downward. Now there's one way to look at this. You're only going to have two things that are happening in the market. It's either going to be consolidating or it's going to be breaking out upward or breaking down lower. Okay, so we're looking at consolidation, move upward, consolidation, move downward. That's all that ever happens in the market. Now, some people call consolidation many different things. They can call it choppy, they can call it printing barcodes, they can call it all types of whipsaw, etc. Now, there's many types of things that happen within that consolidation. It can be range bound, it can be all types of things that happen. But know that it's truly just a form of consolidation, which is indecision in the market. Either the buyers or sellers haven't taken over. It's just a back and forth between the buyers and sellers, and that's what's happening. That's what consolidation is. Now, for consolidation, then it either has to break downward or it has to break upward. Now, on this chart, I'm going over some things, and we're going to go into a live trade in this video. Okay, the live trade is going to be actually on this particular consolidation and its breakout. So let's go over the basics of what I was thinking, then take you to the live trade, and then come back and review it for a quick second. So let's go ahead and move forward. If you notice here, I've got my consolidation drawn. I'm going to move my chart around so you can see why I call it consolidation. You can see it was in a nice consolidation area. We're looking to try to either break upward or downward. I've actually put some arrows on there so you have an idea of what I'm thinking in my mind. We're going to go either outside of this box upward or outside of this box downward. Now, I already know because I've already done this trade. I've already played it out, and I'm going to show you the live part in just a few minutes. But I want to show you while I'm trading, I use my trading view chart to give me the indication of when to enter trades and what to look for. So as I zoom in and look at this, you notice that I've got my price action indicator from the Redneck Wall Street suite. Okay, so as we're looking at that, what we're going to do is go ahead and hit the play part to replay how this played out. Okay, so let's do this on the trading view chart, and then we'll go to the live trade in just a moment and show you how that works out also. So as you look forward, bang, we moved upward, we broke outside of this consolidation area. Now, when we broke outside of this consolidation area, you see each candle is showing you some price action indication. So you've got a red, a white, and a green. If I were going short, I would not want any retracements to go above that red. Since I'm going to be considered going long because we've broken above this, I don't want any retracements to go below that green. So you see the white being the middle, okay? So that's what I'm looking for at this point. Now, as we look forward at this point, I'm going to hit the next candle, and you'll see, and I'll explain what I'm thinking about at this point. So as the next candle paints out, what I'm looking at is an inside candle. Now, I have some interest because I know that off to the left, we've already closed above that 220 level. We broke through it. I'm not wanting it to retrace and flush back through my consolidation zone. And once it flushed through that consolidation zone, of course, we're invalid and we've taken a loss, or either if I didn't get an entry, I'm looking to go short to newer lows. Okay, so having that said, how do I know how much profit I want to take? So as I'm looking at this, what I want to do is I want to make sure that I go down and I actually look to the left, and I want to make sure how that left area, where that target's at. And if you notice here, that target's right in this area. It's around that 290 level. So now that I know that it's around that 290 level, what we're looking to do is try to go ahead and take profit up to that 290 level. And I've got to look for a good entry. So we're going to go to the live trade now. And once I go to this live trade and it unfolds, I'm going to come back to this part and go over some more detail to give you an idea of what we were looking for. Hey y'all, What we're going to do now is sort of give you an overview of this live trade in my brokerage account, comparing it to what I was looking at in the TradingView account previously and after this video. Now I've got this sped up at 2.5 times, so I'm sort of having to talk fast to give you an idea of what I'm thinking in my head. So at this point, I'm wondering if it's going to break down and break lower for the day or break upward. So we've gone from this consolidation. Are we going to move up or are we going to move down? Now, since I've recorded this and I'm doing a voice overlay, I already know that it's going to break upward. So at this point, when it starts to go into the next candle and breaks upward, I'm looking for a good move through that 220 level above this area, out of this consolidation zone, and a good move upward. I am not looking to chase this at any point. I want it to go up and then have a good candle that establishes, then a pull back close to this area, close to that 220. It can even consolidate and then move back up to that range again. I know that off to the left, I've got some room to take a trade. I've got up to around the 90 level that it can move up to, and I can get those points to that level. So now that this candle's gone up, I'm looking for it to close above that. I don't want it to flush all the way back down through this consolidation and then make a lower low for the day. So at this point, we notice that it's closed, and it's actually closed and got a candle that's broken above the consolidation and closed above the consolidation. Now what I'm looking to do is I put on a trade and I got my finger on it. Typically when I have my finger on it, I could be just wanting to rest it in certain areas. I might be wanting to move it in case it does break upward really hard and flush all the way up to the 300 level, past the 290, because people got stops at that 290 or whatever it might be. We're building this inside candle. Now, once we built this inside candle, since it's going fast and I got it sped up, I've been thinking, okay, if this inside candle is going to give me either some indecision, it's going to break back down through the bottom, or it's going to continue upward. So once it does that, I notice, oh, okay, this candle has made an up candle again after the inside candle. I've got some interest. So now I'm going to tighten it up and see if I can try to get it to that area in case it breaks upward. And once it breaks upward, I notice I tightened it up, but it didn't break through it. But it did pique my interest, and then I start noticing, hey, I can get close to that 50 level and get me a good entry. Now, once I've got that entry, I typically look to take profits and stop losses, etc. So you'll probably see me put take profits, stop losses, all that kind of stuff. So if you notice there, I actually put my stop losses and take profits from that point. And then I'll go ahead and typically try to tighten them up to where they need to be. And I think that's what I was doing at that point. So I was just sort of watching on the chart how I was handling that. You notice that I've got the stop loss just below it. Then I've got the take profit up in that 90 range level. And I'm actually probably have it a couple points high. So if you notice, it's gotten right to it. Hadn't filled it yet, but we're right in that area that I want to be. So we've got two mini contracts on. We're looking for it to push on up through, try to hit that previous high, go ahead and knock that level out, and there we go. That's the way the trade plays out. Now I'll go back to the TradingView chart. I'll review what we've covered here. I'll sort of give you an idea of what I was thinking at a slower speed, and then you'll know exactly what we're looking at when we go from consolidations to breakouts. Okay, now after that live trade, let's go back and go over the details of what I was thinking during this trade using my TradingView chart. Now, if you notice, actually on this chart, I've got my price action indicator from my Wall Street Redneck Suite. And if you notice this inside candle, it actually, once it painted, it broke below my green line on this upward move. That made this candle invalid. So I'm not looking for an entry on that candle because it stayed an inside candle. I'm going to go ahead and move this over to the exact area so we can focus on what I'm looking for in this trade as it breaks upward. We've already talked about this line up here. The yellow line is my take profit, where I'm looking for it to get to the next level. And we talked about whole numbers. It broke out of the 220. I looked for that 50 level, which is a good level where a lot of people like to put their stops or like to get into entries to take it up to the next level. Those whole numbers are a real thing. They happen in the market all the time. Then we wanted to go ahead and see it move up to the next level, which is the 90 level. Now let's go ahead and hit the next candle on this replay for my trading view, just to give you an idea. Now, if you look here, this candle defines it all. This is where I'm looking to get into the trade. If you notice this inside candle, the next candle came down and did not retrace below my green line. Since it didn't retrace below the green line, I'm looking for an entry of either two different areas. The more risky entry is at the top of the body, which is the 47 level. Now the next easiest entry, which is the safest, is the break above the top of that previous candle, which is that inside candle, which is around that 52 area. I believe that's where I took that entry at. Then I'm looking for it to move upward, break above that previous candle, and push that momentum up to that 90 level. Now, as I hit the play button for this, it'll show you what actually happened. It'll show you what you saw in the live trade and give you an idea of how all of this plays out within my strategy. Now, my strategy, this is just one of the several things that are in that Wall Street Redneck Suite. This is the price action part. The price action part just gives you the indication for each candle and when to enter and when it's valid or invalid. Now, what I'm looking to do is make sure that everybody likes and subscribes. Let's grow this community together. Let the Wall Street Redneck help you become profitable, and let's make this a good journey for you. Now, everybody have a blessed day, and thanks for watching.